What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So listen, I want to talk about what the Saudis are doing, and I want to, elaborate on some things that pretty much points I've brought up. But I want to, I want to highlight these points. This is, what's expected of the fighters, okay, and how this is good for boxing. This is part of the change that people wanted, right? But a lot of people, you hear me say, old habits are hard to break. A lot of people are still stuck in that same mindset that they were in, even though they were complaining about the current state of boxing. Now, example, with the PBC, with Matchroom and these other companies. Now, I can't say they all follow the same exact business model in terms of how fights are put together. We know the ranking systems are not, they're far from legit most of the time, okay? But when you look at what the Saudis are doing, you can see there's a difference just like night and day based on them being the authority, okay? So, again, to have fighters fight title eliminators just to sit down and say, no fight, you're asking for too much money. The Saudis are not doing that. The Saudis are saying, okay, we want you, and we're offering $50 million. But you have to fight this opponent. Take it or leave it. This is how boxing should be. Period. Because now fighters don't have the power to duck. They don't have the power, okay, to sit back and lie to the world and talk and not back it up. No. In fact, like I told you guys, if you watch K1, these guys have tournaments. They fight 3 and 4 times in one night. So you just went from this kind of style to this kind of style to this kind of style. Fuck, every 3 months, all in one night. That's how those tournaments go. Okay? Well, how do you think guys like Roberto Duran and Julio Cesar Chavez, Sugar Ray Robinson, how do you Archie Moore, all these guys, how do you think that these guys built these incredible records? By taking 2 and 3 years off, fighting once a year? No, you're in that ring. You need to be in it. This is what you train to do. So, this softness, this whole mentality of fans and boxers, feeling some kind of way because they're being put in positions of, listen, this is the guy I want you to fight, but also they're paying you far more money than you ever made. You understand? So for that to be the case, you need to go and deliver, and you owe it to yourself and the fans. Now, if you feel like that's asking for too much or expecting too much for you to fight the top guys, then maybe you need to find another sport, because this is an example of someone wanting to see the best versus the best. So either you want it or you don't. Now, let's look at AJ and Wilder's situation. For them to make $100 million, that was over the course of 2 fights. They both had to win. Okay, so that means AJ has to think, for me to get to that $100 million, I have to beat Wale. You heard them constantly asking AJ questions about Wilder, about Jarrell Miller. What did AJ say? Look, my focus is on Wale. That's who I'm fighting. If I don't get past Wale, all of this goes away. So that's my focus, is Wale. What was Wilder and Malik Scott doing? Constantly talking about AJ, sending messages to AJ, focusing on everything and everybody except for Joseph Parker. So Wilder's mindset should have been, okay, same as AJ. I got to get past Parker. If I don't beat him, all this goes away. I don't get that $100 million. You understand what I mean? And so there's no fuck the A side, B side shit. 50 million for you, 50 million for you. Okay? Over the course of 2 fights, that's 100 million for 2 fights. That's what we're offering. You're not getting that with the PBC. You're not going to get that with Matchroom. You're not going to get that with any other network, any other company. So take it or leave it. That's how it should be. This will keep these fighters on their toes. It will keep them sharp. And for those who don't take it serious, well, the strong will survive. Those who are bullshitting, they'll remove themselves. So for someone to offer you that kind of money, they're not offering you that money so you can pick and choose. So when people say things like, but why does Wilder have to fight Zhang, or how come he... See, that's exactly my point. What I've been saying to you guys. When fighters get to pick and choose who they want, now they're in a position where, no, this is what we're doing, take it or leave it. And all of a sudden, there's controversy. No, there's no controversy. It's just a plain reality that people don't want to admit that their favorite fighter is ducking. They're scared. They don't want the fight. It's as simple as that. There was a time where I felt more strongly to the point that, no, these fighters are not scared to fight each other. I can't speak for everybody. Yes, some motherfuckers are scared of certain fighters. That's obvious. But now it's getting to a point with a lot of fighters that you have to question their hearts. Because especially when you say, I want to fight 3 or 4 times a year, now you have a platform to do that. There's people providing that. And far more lucrative than what you came from. And you don't want to fight, and you're turning fights down prior to that. What is that? So, if you look at, like example, look at where AJ is right now. Now, what people fail to realize is AJ's not getting that 100 million, and neither is Wilder. At least not for fighting each other. I'm willing to guarantee you, I don't know what AJ's purse was for fighting Otto Wallin. I don't really care personally, but just for information purposes of making the point, I'm willing to guarantee you he's making way more money fighting Ngannou than he did fighting Wallin, even though he was paid a pretty penny. I'm sure of that. Okay? When you win, especially when you win big fights that get a lot of attention, your stock goes up. So let's just say, for example, right, he goes in there, especially he go in there and take care of business. That's one thing that I'm counting on him to do, is go in there and knock Ngannou out, not to go in there and play with him and carry him like Mayweather did McGregor, and just for the sake of thinking, well, if I knock him out easy, then that's going to kill the chances for the future for when I want to do these crossover fights. Or something people are going to say, oh, these MMA guys can't box. We already know Floyd's going to win. So no. Go in there, destroy Ngannou like you're supposed to. People are going to compare your performance to Fury's, of course. And it's going to build more intrigue. And you got to understand, for the casuals that's going to watch, they don't understand boxing. They don't even have common sense when it comes to boxing, because they don't even have the common knowledge. So they don't have that common sense. To them, oh my God, I can't believe it. And right now, there's more interest in either a rematch with Usyk or the first fight with Fury. Now, if they're willing to pay Anthony Joshua and Wilder $50 million apiece, okay, $100 million over the course of 2 fights, imagine what AJ could ask them for now, to say, okay, look, I went in there and destroyed Ngannou, right? And let's say Fury beats Usyk. Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 scenarios. Let's say he beats Usyk. And he can say, I went in there and destroyed Ngannou. Fury struggled and got dropped, got embarrassed, got hurt. And most people feel like Ngannou won. You were going to pay me $100 million for 2 fights with Wilder. Fury knocked Wilder out. Got the best of him and owned him in that series of fights. I think we could put that number up a little higher. They may go, you know what, we can do that. $50 million for the first fight between you and Fury, $100 million apiece for the second fight. So now they're walking away with $150 million. That could happen, okay? And for people, yeah, but you know, what about the rest of the card? No, they can still put a super stacked card together, because what you got to understand is guys like Frank Sanchez, Kabayel, those guys are not superstars. They don't have a leg to stand on as far as making an argument about getting paid superstar type money, because they're not there yet. Talented, yes. Talented. But they can't come in there complaining about that, especially when you turn this money down. You're not going to get this fighting anywhere else, not even close to this. So that would be stupid. So yeah, they can still put a stacked card together. That won't interfere anything. Okay, now, let's say Usyk wins. Well, now this is a third fight and a big rematch with huge anticipation. Why? Because AJ is looking way better now than when he first fought Usyk. And for Usyk to beat Fury, okay, not once, but twice. Oh, now the anticipation is huge. They can wind up doing the same thing. 50 million first fight, 100 million for the second fight. They both walk away with 100 million. And see, here's the thing, right? What I like about that is this. They're the ones putting up the money. So you don't have an argument. So even if they said, nah, same deal, 50 million apiece. Okay, cool, I'll take that. But there's no harm in trying to bargain, okay? But point is, they are giving you an opportunity. You have to make the most of it. We're not just handing you. See, we're giving you an opportunity. We're not giving you money. You're going to earn that money. But we're giving you the opportunity. So you have to fight to get to that 50 million. We're not just giving it to you. Oh, no. No, you have to jump some hurdles first. So now when I hear people saying, but why does Wilder have to fight Zhang? Joseph Parker's more than willing to fight Zhang. Joseph Parker was more than willing to fight Joyce. Guys that Wilder has failed to get in the ring with. Why should he not have to fight those guys? That is a clear indication. The people saying that is afraid for Wilder. They don't like his chances against Zhang. Why? Because they know Wilder has been protected. When you hear Wilder say, I'm a king, man. I'm a king. You think he's just referring to when he was over there in Saudi and the treatment that they gave him, the food, all that, the expensive car to drive around in? You think that that's what he was alluding to only? No. You don't think that that ego comes from his entire career? That he's been able to eeny, meeny, miny? No. How many fights you want? Are you undefeated? How many fights you? Oh, you got 18 losses? Okay, him. Do you understand? You don't think that that's what he's talking about? That's part of his delusional ego? Yes. I call the shots. I do what I do. I control the narrative. That's all of that. Now, when you heard me in the last video post the Boxing Bros talking, see, let me explain why I put that in there. Because there was a time that I heard them debating the point that Wilder was going to beat certain fighters, or he would beat because the right hand. Yo, that's the thing with Wilder, man. Like, it don't matter if you could outbox him, man. Once he landed that right hand, and then they all changed their perspective on how they saw Wilder based on his performance. So that's why I play that. What am I showing you? Yes, like I said, I've never seen so many people tired of his shit, and I've never seen so many people get to the point where they're like, nah, they're talking about Wilder, but now they're saying the same shit that I've been saying since he started getting notoriety, that he simply is just not a good boxer at all. He's just a guy that had the right opponents, okay? There's no way that you guys can sit here, as much as you hate on Floyd Mayweather, talking about Floyd either fought you when you was too old or too young, like, you sitting here completely lying to yourselves about Floyd's accomplishments and shitting on that man's resume, but you're going to sit up here and try to act like Wilder knocked out 40 top-level guys? No, stop it. What did they say? Wilder needs to stay away from Zhang and go back to fighting guys who don't really box for a living, because that's what the fuck Wilder was doing. But in doing that, what does that do for him? How does that propel him to where he wants to be? Fighting guys that don't really fight for a living. Yeah, that's the old style. That's the PBC way. That's what he's been allowed to do. And like I said, him and the people that like him are at a point of Well, why can't he just do what he always did? Because they don't like his chances of winning. They know that he's going to struggle with top opposition because he struggled with low-tier opposition. Then he finally catches him with the right hand. So when you look at a fighter and go, man, this dude get outboxed by fucking C-class fighters, man, and then he just happens to knock them out, can you really see him beating Zhang? No. So when people come to that realization, let me stop lying for this guy and just be honest. That's why I played that clip. Yeah, they started critiquing him because they realized, nah, I know who they are. I've been, I check that shit from time to time. But I said, I watched them. I've seen videos of them choosing Wilder, or hard to say they don't think Wilder. They didn't want to say Wilder would lose because, well, but he got that right hand. But yeah, they realized, nah, man, the right hand is not enough. I've been saying this shit for years. When this channel had like 30, 40 subscribers, when I first started this channel, you heard me saying the same things. He needs some skills to go with that right hand. But the more he started to, get more followers and people getting into his brand, they were always making excuses for him. And it's like, so you guys, for some reason, we can critique any fighter. It's just when it comes to Wilder, no, let Wilder be Wilder. No, guys, it doesn't work that way. So what the Saudis are doing, they're eliminating that bullshit. We're offering you more money you're gonna ever make it versus working with any other company. Take it or leave it. Imagine if Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, imagine if they were in the same situation right now. What you think they'd do? Imagine if they said, Tank, you either take it or leave it. We're offering you $50 million or whatever they're going to offer him. Shakur Stevenson is the guy I want to see you fight. If that motherfucker turned down $50 million, he'd have to shut the fuck up. And don't say anything about nothing. Don't try to explain nothing. You turned down $20 million from the Haney's, right? Okay. And what did Leonard Ellerby say? If anybody's going to make any offers, it's going to be Tank. He's the A side, not Haney, right? Okay. You got so much money that you don't want $20 million? Okay. So my point is, the Saudis come along, whatever you're making, they seem to want to double and triple that. Now, we can quadruple that if you win this fight. What excuse would Tank have? What excuse would Shakur have? What excuse would Raleigh have? Teofimo, any of them? What excuses would they have? So, like I said, the only guy that's actually trying to make the fights happen is Bill and Devin Haney. Now you're hearing this shit about, oh, Haney's too big. Oh, people saying Tank should put weight stipulations, rehydration stipulations because these guys are way big. Okay, then keep your little ass at 135 and leave 140 alone. It's as simple as that. Because he's going to always have a height and weight disadvantage as he goes up in weight. How many guys do you see at 140 that's 5'4", 5'5"? So he's going to always have that. So, like I said in the previous video, what's he going to do? Every time he has a fight with someone that's naturally bigger than him, oh, rehydration clause. But I'm the face of boxing. No, come on. At some point, this shit has to stop. And this is where I'm saying the Saudis are doing things differently. Okay? If these other companies was moving like the Saudis, we wouldn't even have the videos we're making, we wouldn't be making. We'd be saying, okay, it's on March 15th, Tank Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Hey, it's on, April 5th, Teofimo versus Devin Haney. No. As long as fighters have the power to say, nah, I don't want to fight him. Next, you're going to keep getting the same thing. Here you have fighters in their goddamn 20s talking about they're on vacation. I don't know if I want to continue to fight. Oh, I don't like the politics in boxing. Oh, I'm still officially the champion. I'm still paying sanctioning fees, but I'm retired. Oh, I don't want to fight that guy. Nah, not him. Nah, man. Oh, he's boring. Oh, nah, man. He's old, but he hit hard. Nah, man. I'm telling you, that guy, I don't want to fight that guy. Ha ha ha, Riley's so funny. No, see, this is the point. So here, when I'm talking about round robin tournaments, mandatories have to fight mandatories or you'll be stripped of your spot. If you're a champion and you duck your mandatory, not giving some bullshit franchise belt so you can duck them. Oh, he's elevated to franchise. No, no. You fight your mandatory or you're stripped. Boxing needs structure. And Wilder, out his own mouth, said, boxing has no structure, and I couldn't agree more. So you be the X factor and do the right things that these sanctioning bodies don't want to do. That's the fighters, that should be their mentality. No, they fall in love with the money. And they get to the point where as long as they can dictate who they fight, that's what they want to do. And this is why these guys are fighting once a year, sometime two. Why? They're already multimillionaires without taking any real risk. So there's no urge for them. Do you think that Tank Davis is sitting here in the position he's in, knowing Shakur Stevenson is here, there's other fighters, Lomachenko's here, and those are the two biggest names in this division next to me, you know. But I don't need them. I'm the A side. I'm the man. I make more money than all of them. Do you think he's not aware that this, improves his legacy, this elevates him? Of course he does. The real question is, does he care? And that's honestly a rhetorical question because I think we all know the answer to that. You think if he goes to 140, he's not aware that Haney's there, Teofimo was there? He got the Josh Taylors of the way. There's different people. Do you think he's not aware of that? Well, when you're the face of boxing, I've said it once and I'll say it again, you move different from everybody else. That's why when people overuse the word elite, it's like you are elite in terms of your skills. You're better than, all these other guys, but you have 2, 3, 4, 5 other guys that's in the same seat as you. We want to know who's the best of the best, right? I don't care about people going up and down in weight, but clean out your division first. There's no reason for you to go up and down, up and down. Okay, so let's say Aries is in the ring. Aries knocked out Wilder. Aries knocked out Tyson Fury. Aries knocked out Frank Sanchez, Jared Anderson, okay? So I have 2 elite names on my resume and 2 good fighters that's still trying to get there. But I beat those 4. Now, those are the best 4 names on my resume. At the same time, I haven't beaten AJ. I haven't beaten Usyk. I haven't beaten Ruiz. I haven't beaten Parker. I haven't beaten Joyce. I haven't beaten Zhang. And I'm undisputed champion. And then I'm just going to request a belt called the franchise so I can drop down to cruiserweight or because there's no super heavyweight, right? Or bridgerweight and fight someone there who I can get the same or more money fighting guys that I didn't fight yet. You don't think people would be going, but Aries, man, I get you want to accomplish something different, but you didn't clean up the heavyweight division yet. And there's way less names at bridgerweight. Who the fuck is talking about bridgerweights? Who? Okay, so no, that's not what the best does. I have to move different. So if I'm elite, that's it's like having number 1 contender, number 2 contender. Who's mandatory, right? Number 2 might be way better than number 1 for all we know. But number 1 may get that shot. You understand? Before number 2 does. How do we know who's the best? They fight each other. So I'm not sold on all that going up and down in weight when it's not necessary. And we know that that's what the franchise championship was designed for. I don't give a fuck because you love Canelo and you love Lomachenko or whoever owns that bullshit invisible title. That's what that shit was designed for. And that's the camouflage. How you going to say he ran? He went up and fought another champion. Right. Because he was scared that he wouldn't be champion again if he fight that guy. That's why he accepted this franchise bullshit. Why are you ducking mandatories? So even though this person worked their ass off to get to this spot, or I'm going to duck them so I can hold on to this belt and this franchise championship, I won't get stripped. It allows me to go up and down. It's a favoritism belt. And we know that the WBC is the most corrupt out of every organization. Okay? Who's a bridgerweight under IBF, WBA, WBO? Who? This is some bullshit the WBC put together. And again, who are you hearing talking about bridgerweights? So, that being said, what the Saudis is doing is saying, we see a problem in boxing. We want to at least fill that void to the point, if you fight on this card, you have to be prepared because we're going to give you nothing but the best. So we call you and you're not in shape and you feel like you can't get in shape in time to come and perform at the highest level, we like it if you be honest and just say, nah, I'm going to pass. I'm really not ready and I'm going to need more time. Sorry, but hey, listen, man, please, I'll keep training. Keep me in mind for the next card or whatever. No. You jump on because of the money and you're not in the shape you need to be in, then you can't come with that bullshit. It was ring rust. Well, you know, I needed more time. It was on short notice. No, stop that shit. This is exactly my point. You guys are busy jumping on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and sitting up here on YouTube making arrogant videos, sitting back talking shit and talking about how you're the best, you're this, you're that. People not on your level, but you're not fighting. Teofimo Lopez right now is wasting his prime years. Raul Romero right now wasting his prime years. You understand what I'm saying? You look at these guys and you see all these years go by, right? All these years. And then what happens? Oh, ring rust, I wasn't ready. Okay, what are you doing all this time? A talented fighter can tap into his skills and get in the ring and fight. Okay? A hungry fighter wants to fight. Okay, they want to fight. A person's hunger can overcome your talent. If that motherfucker is hungry enough and he refused to lose, and you go in there taking a fight of light thinking, I'm going to go walk through this guy, I'm going to do it, and then all of a sudden, whoa, I wasn't expecting all of that, right? So let's look at what the Saudis are doing and appreciate. If you call yourself a real fight fan, you'd understand it. If you are a fighter fan, then you won't if you are afraid of the chances that the guy you like is not going to win. That's boxing. And this is what I'm telling you. People's minds have been conditioned to this casual mentality of fighters should be able to pick and choose who they want. That's usually how they do it. Right. That's why I'm glad the Saudis are doing what they're doing. Okay, if I'm paying you to build my house, okay, and I'm saying this is how I want my house built, you don't fucking tell me how the fuck you're gonna build it. Well, I think you should the fuck what you think. Bitch, I'm paying you. You do what the fuck I tell you. This is what I want. Fuck you tell me about what you think I should know. I'm not talking about me being open to suggestion because maybe something in the blueprints I want is difficult or gonna, cause a problem later on. This might be something that it's safer to go this way. No, I'm saying you just want to tell me what you want because, well, I'm the one doing the job. I'm the one paying your ass. You are going to do things the way I say. Simple. Okay, I didn't ask you to just surprise me. Do what you do, but no, this is what I want. This is the layout. Simple. You think these people are putting up multi-millions of dollars for you to go in there and take tune-ups? No, that's what this is. This is about the best versus the best. Either you want in or you don't. Man, listen, the Charlos should be trying to get on these cards. The Canelos of the world, all these different, well, they're with PBC and all that shit. So, but you understand what I'm saying? The best of the best should want this. Fuck, man. Terrence Crawford should be trying to get on these cards. This is what I'm saying. But people don't understand. When it comes to business, okay? Businessmen and women want to make the most money they can. They're not catering to your fucking, why? That's my favorite fighter. No. The problem of a fighter. You see how quick Tyson Fury went from saying, I'm not a businessman, I'm a fighter. That's what I have a team for. They do that. Yeah, See how that changed? Yeah, see how he's penny pinching now? Yeah. Remember how quickly, remember Wilder saying, it ain't about the money, it's about legacy. See how all that changed? Yeah. Yeah, all of a sudden now, penny pinching. So no, because if you leave it to the fighters, I'm the A side, I don't need you, you need me. Isn't that what Ryan Garcia just told Devin Haney? After he said he wanted Haney, just to change his mind? Yeah, oh, people don't understand. If you let this fight marinate and let it build up, it'll be, it'll be bigger. What if you go get knocked the fuck out? Then what? Right? That's my point. You leave it to most of these fighters, they're going to penny pinch, I'm the A side, and you're not going to get the fight. All of these fighters that are hungry are going to be the ones that say, yeah, I'll take that spot. Why? Simply because they haven't gotten that taste of being multimillionaires yet. They're trying to get there. And once they get there, they change their song and dance. Didn't this guy Frank Martin just have a situation where he basically agreed to fight against Shakur Stevenson? Talked all this shit. Shit, man, if they offer me X amount of money, I'll take it. They offer him that. And then what did he do? Pulled out the fight. Why? Because of money. Now, I don't remember what the amount was, but let's just say, for example, they said they were paying him, just say $5 million. Right? $5 million. And let's just say he felt like, nah, man, I'm worth more than that. Even though he has nobody on his resume that suggests that, right? No type of spectacular performances where he stands out above everybody. But let's say the Saudis go, what's the most money you made in your career? Well, it would have been $5 million, but I turned it down. Okay, we're offering you 15. But you have to fight Tank Davis. Just say, what excuse would he have to turn that fight down? $5 million wasn't enough. Now they're offering you 15. Okay. Fighters like that are going to eliminate themselves. Why? Because if the Saudis are coming along and they're making these fights happen, they're making top-notch offers that you're not going to get anywhere else. What else do you want? Look at a guy like Gary Russell. How often does Gary Russell fight? You understand? So for Gary Russell, well, just like everybody else, he's only getting older. At what point does he think he's going to be champion again? At what point does he think he's going to obtain immense popularity? All of a sudden, Gary, nope. He's going to stay where he is, and he's going to retire, not being really remembered by too many people. Now, whoever his fans are, yeah, but just the general public, no, nobody talks about Gary Russell. Gary Russell talked and barked up everybody's name that wasn't in his career, in his weight class, right? Remember that. Talked about punching Terrence Crawford in the face. That's the most attention that Gary Russell has gotten his entire career. He did all of that talk just to end up getting in the ring, getting injured, losing his title, and disappear, and he's doing the same thing. The guy fight like once every 2 fucking years. How does he think he's hurting his career? And all he does in between is jump on little self-made videos talking about how he'll knock this guy out, he'll knock that guy out, he's going to do this, he's on everybody's ass, but he does absolutely nothing. Another wasted talent, because what he accomplished is so mediocre compared to what he could have been doing. Okay? So, for you guys that's saying you appreciate what the Saudis are doing, well, appreciate it and understand it. This is how you make your money. And for you guys that's admitting Wilder should stay away from Zhang, Wilder shouldn't fight, why does he have to fight? Okay, you're admitting, you know that he's been cherry picking. His entire career has been nothing but tune-ups. And that's why I said, look at his resume. The best 2 fighters on there, he lost to. And let's look at his wins. His biggest wins is against Luis Ortiz, Chris Arreola, Bermane Stiverne. That is his biggest wins. Guys like Spilker, Gerald Washington, all those guys, they never accomplished anything. They're underachievers. So you understand that's the highest level of competition that he's beaten. Those three names. That's his best wins. And if you look at all of them in their career, where they were when he fought them, none of them were in a good place. Berman Stavern is where he got his belt from. But Berman Stavern was nothing but an average fighter. Let's not forget, Berman Stavern was put into a title fight. Okay, with the guy, another underachiever, that got, pretty much beat the brakes off of him. Joe Joyce beat the brakes off of Berman Stavern as well. You understand what I'm saying? He never really accomplished nothing. He was put in a position. Okay? So even when him and Trevor Bryant fought, well, if you heard Trevor Bryant versus, Berman Stavern, what do you think? Oh, he must have really earned that spot. No, he didn't earn shit. Like I said, the winner of that fight was being fattened up for a much better fighter, and it turned out to be Daniel Dubois. And we see what he did to Trevor Bryant. And for the record, Berman Stavern is still in the ring fighting, getting beat up. And he's losing fight after fight after fight. And this is one of the biggest Deontay Wilder wins. Now, you can't fault Deontay for fighting him for the title. But again, that's where Wilder stopped. No Charles Martin, no Joseph Parker until recent, and lost to him. So he wasn't out there trying to collect belts. He didn't want the belts. They didn't mean anything. The only prestigious belt was the green one. The other ones didn't mean nothing. So, yeah, like he said, the Saudis are paying him that old shit type of money, right? Okay, well, you have to perform. And that's any fighter. So, whereas he's making excuses for himself and people are making excuses for him, AJ's out there climbing the ladder. He's making up for the money he's not going to get with Wilder now by fighting Ngannou. And I don't know what the purse is, but it's going to be more than what he made fighting Wallin. Parker still waiting for a challenger. So, these guys are staying busy. And I said the same thing with AJ. Like, AJ needs to stay busy. He needs to fight. That's the only way he's going to really, truly improve, is by getting in there. Staying sharp, staying focused. Sometimes you have to readjust to what you just adjusted to. That's just in life, period, man. Period. That's just the way it goes. So the Saudis are providing opportunities that these other platforms aren't. And y'all all heard Wilder. He was the first one that said it. I'm doing way better, with the Saudis than I was with the PBC. Now I'm able to get the fights I want. Did he not say that? Now I'm able to get the fights that I want. The problem is you still want to fight the same type of fighters. What do you mean? You never had a problem getting fighters with these meatballs. So what do you mean? You're turning down Andy Ruiz. You're turning down these fights. You turned AJ down. You did that. So who do you want to fight? Now you're hesitating to sign a fight Zhilei Zhang. So who do you want to fight? So my point. Yeah, the Saudis are not catering to people. They're not babying them. They're saying, hey, man, this is who I didn't like the fact that they was trying to put Jarrell Miller in there with Derek Chisora. I don't want to see Derek Chisora fight anybody. So for the people that was saying it was unfair to put Wilder in there with Parker, even though Wilder was supposed to destroy this guy, and they're still not treating him like a champion. I dropped that video, watch it, okay? They're still not showing him the respect of a champion. But I don't hear these same people complaining about why would they giving Jarrell Miller Derek Chisora of all people. Yeah. But overall, let's look at the whole card. And if Daniel Dubois wouldn't have took the fight, that's exactly who Miller would have been in there fighting with. Because pretty much, or whoever else they would have came up with, because Chisora didn't want it. He didn't want it. Now look at what Chisora has been doing and how he's went out. Is Chisora worth big million? No, he's not. All right. So bottom line is, the Saudis is the best thing going right now, and hopefully they can keep these type of cards going. And to be honest with you, Okay, the only way that they won't is if these fighters don't want to fight. So if you salute the Saudis for what they're doing in boxing, understand it's the whole ball of wax, not what you want to edit and try to give advantages to certain fighters. It has to be, you understand this is about the best fighting the best. Getting on camera, telling everybody what you are, who you are, and how you're better than everybody. Yeah, okay, it all sounds good. But the Saudis are saying, we're giving you the platform to prove it. And no fighter has any logical explanation to turn down the fight unless they're just not ready. That bottom line, nah, I'm way out of shape. And so this is my point. Once you get that call the first time, if that's not an incentive for you to get in tip-top shape to be able to go, then what else do you need? And one thing we can't say is that Wilder wasn't in shape, because that motherfucker went the full 12 rounds with Parker. He just couldn't land anything. And what people are, they're saying everything about why Wilder lost, except for the fact that Parker was just the better fighter. And so now, this should motivate Wilder. This should motivate him. Because if it's only about, you know what, man, it was because of inactivity, okay, stay busy. But when you fall apart and then jump on somebody's platform and start making up excuses for yourself, well, what does that say? And when you have someone who, bam, in a heartbeat signed that contract and they're waiting for you, what did that say? Yet the guy that beat you doesn't have a fight. And he's saying, well, hey, I'll fight Zhang. He wants the fight that you don't want to fight. He wants the fight that your fan base don't want you to fight. So what did that say about Wilder? And this is what people are not wanting to admit. So all this, I lost my fire, I got to get my killer instinct back, all that. Hey, listen, well, until you do, just be honest and don't get in the ring with anybody until you're ready, because nobody wants to keep hearing excuses. So on that note, let's look at what the Saudis are doing, and let's appreciate the fact that all of the complaints that you had with any other company or any other fighter, okay, for not getting in there and and fighting against the best, now this platform is providing fighters with that opportunity. And for those who don't want to be on that card, it's simply because they don't want to fight the best, especially when they're paying way more than what you're making now. And that's with any fighter. So, anyway, talk to me in the comment section about this card. Who would y'all like to see on this card overall? Because there's a lot of fighters out there that they can put on here. We don't know who it's going to be. And before you know it, it'll be March. And so right now, the only confirmed fight that I know of is AJ versus Zhang. You know, and if Wilder takes the fight, then you'll have Wilder versus, AJ versus Ngannou. If Wilder takes the fight, then you'd have Wilder versus Zhang. You know, now, this is going to spark interest if he does take it, because why? One, okay, now Wilder has to show that he's back. Him fighting Zhang is not going to show that, oh, the loss to Parker was a fluke. No, it's just going to show, okay, I'm here. I just beat one of the big dogs, one of the top dogs. I'm here. You still would think he want to fight Parker and get his revenge, you know, just like Zhang want his revenge against AJ, just like Parker want his revenge against AJ, right? But being a sore loser, being bitter and talking shit, that's not the way to do it. Just sign the goddamn contract and fight who they put in front of you. Simple. That's what happens. That's what they do on the amateurs. You don't know who the fuck you're fighting unless somebody get word and then, oh, you know that kid named such and such. No, you don't know. You just preparing and warming up, and you're going in there to fight somebody who you don't know what they have to beat you with, vice versa. Or maybe they might have seen you and you've never seen them. And guess what? You got to show and prove in the ring that night. You have to be able to adjust and see, okay, I see what he's doing. And you have less rounds to do with him. You understand what I mean? So I don't understand how you become a pro and all of a sudden now everybody has to be babied. No. Sign the goddamn contract. Make the fight happen. So if he does accept, we got 2 guaranteed fights that's going to get attention. And that's going to build up excitement for the rest of the card. Because everybody, like, we want to know now who else is going to be on there. So if you got those two fights solidified, then it's like, yeah, okay. You got AJ and Ngannou, which I'm not, whatever. But I understand why the fight's happening. Now we got, Wilder versus Zhang. And what he needs to do, if he does accept, shut the fuck up. Don't go in there with that, well, I think me and Zhang should be the main event, and AJ and Ngannou should be, the co-main event. Because if it was Zhang versus AJ and Ngannou versus Wilder, he'd be still saying the same exact thing. Whatever fight he's in, that's the fight that should be the main event. That's what he'd be saying. Humble yourself. Focus on winning and stop talking so much shit. See, here's the problem. And his ego is getting the best of him as well. He was working for the landlord on the last card. No matter who he fights, if he decides to fight, he's still working for the landlord. On this card, his ego, he don't like that shit. Well, when you want to take something from somebody, you have to beat them. And if you have to beat somebody else to get to them, well, that's your job to do. If you fail at that, you can't blame anybody but yourself. And only a self-righteous, delusional person would take credit for someone looking good and winning. I gave him the ability to go and beat Wallin just by losing to Parker. That makes about as much sense as, what's the round root of nothing? Square times 1 over x equals 1,030 half-dead frogs. Like, yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, that made 0 sense. So the Saudis are not babying these guys. They're telling you you're going to earn your keep. You're going to fight who we want you to fight. Or, hey, we're going to the next person. There's always someone that'll be glad to take your spot. And also what the Saudis are doing too. This is giving the Frank Sanchez's. This is giving these guys like that, all of them, the Kabayels, all these different guys, everybody that was on, this is giving them a platform to grow. Why? Because if certain guys aren't ready, hey, we need somebody that's ready to go. They step up. They can go in there and shine. They can go in there and start building their profile up. I would like to see Jared Anderson get on that card, man. The only problem with Jared Anderson, like I said in the previous video, and I feel the same way, is it just may be a waste of time with him. Because if he really, unless he's just running his mouth to get attention, for someone to say, I don't even like boxing, I want to box maybe 2-3 years. Other than that, I got other stuff that I'm doing, and other stuff I want to do. Boxing is not my whole life. I don't even like boxing. It's like a guy like that will underperform when he has to step up and has to win a tough fight where you got one of those guys that no matter what you do, they're nullifying your shit. You have to keep switching up and you have to fight to the very end, and it's not easy. His will get broken. If you really don't like the fight, no. You get punched enough, you're gonna give up. You're gonna give in and you're not gonna give it your all. And I feel like that turns people, I know it turns me off. And saying things like that, people are not gonna take you serious. So it's like, is it worth putting him in that type of mix? And this is what people don't understand. What comes out of your mouth, this is about being a champion. This is why, what the fuck do they call it? It's called prize fighting. You fight for a fucking prize. And fighting to be the best, you're building your legacy, win, lose, or draw, because you're in it fighting the best. But it should push you harder to bring the best out of you. And when you talk with all these drawbacks and holdbacks like that, then that would be like meeting someone. Okay, say fellas, you meet a girl, you meet a woman, and you're asking her what does she really want out of a relationship, and now say you tell her how you feel about her, and then she says some shit like, well, I mean, I really don't like the idea of settling down. I mean, I guess it could work. I'm the type of person, if I get frustrated enough, I will cheat on you. I'll lie to you. I'll do those things. I'll set you up if I have to, because I do have a temper. I get mad and I tend to be selfish. But as long as everything's okay, I mean, it could work. We can try it. Would you try to make that work? You'd be stupid if you did, because that person just gave you every reason to say, nah, I'm good. Now, a simple-minded motherfucker would go and try to make it work and cross his fingers and every day, Lord, please, just show her who I am. I want her to love me, Lord. And yeah, do all of that and still get used, okay, because weakness, ignorance, stupidity. So yeah, a guy talking like that, people, why would you want to even invest in him? This is what I'm saying. And this is why when I look at who's who, it's like, okay, focus on the people who show up to work. Listen, you know how you have a job where the hardest workers don't get rewarded? Because the ass kissers are favorites, because they do exactly what they're told, how they're told to do it. And when I'm not talking about the job, I'm talking about the dirty work. So the real workers that come and get it together. Nah, but you can't be bought and sold, so they skip over you? Okay, well, that's the PBC and all these other companies. The Saudis are like, nope, those days are over. We call the shots. That, again, let me repeat, is what boxing needs. If you have no structure in your home, your kids are going to do all types of nonsense. Everybody living under your roof. Nobody wants to clean the dishes. Nobody wants to sweep the floor, clean the bathroom. No. Nope. Everybody want to eat, but nobody wants to go food shopping. No. You have to have structure. You understand? You go out, get all the groceries. Nobody want to go with you, but the second you walk in, everybody's thinking, no, no, hell no. No. You go buy your own fucking groceries since you're too lazy to go grocery shopping. Right? Simple. Everything you buy, you supply, and we come in and reap the benefits. So that's how I look at the Saudis. It's like, no, we're coming in here to do what everybody else should be doing, what they fail to do. And only somebody who's chicken shit, okay, or really truly just they were caught off. Maybe a person was nursing an injury, something like that. Other than that, a legit reason that, damn, I want to do it, but I'm hurt, or because I'm, whatever, something like that. No. Just the point, you just don't want to be on the card, and you're willing to settle for less money with your little bullshit company. Okay, well, you're scared. You're scared. And that's all it is. You don't want to risk your spot. So let me just keep fighting the same old guys. You guys know, like I said, whoever Tank fights, I'm rolling with Tank. With the exception of Haney, then it's like, all right. And I respect Haney more than I respect all them other guys in those weight classes, because Haney's trying to make it happen. But that being said, I'm not interested in Tank versus Pitbull. I'm just not. We've seen that already. Okay, we know you hurt your hand and all, but you still won. You beat him with a hurt hand. So, I'm not interested in that fight again. I'm not. Got to fight somebody. But, at the end of the day, when you don't have a legitimate reason to not fight the other top guys, I don't respect that. So even if I like you as a fighter, I won't watch a fight that I think is bullshit. I won't support that. So, just saying. And we've been getting the same bullshit week after, month after month, every other week. One decent fight or one good fight and a bullshit card. That's what we've been getting. Matchroom, that's why, I know PBC guys like, oh, PBC put the best fights on. Okay, that's what you think. Not really. To me, Matchroom put the best fights on. They put the best cards on. The only thing about Matchroom is that in the States, for the people who really are just like, they don't want to support the fighters because they're British, which is some dumb shit. Good boxing is good boxing. I don't care where the fuck you are. But anyway, the Saudis are coming on saying, nah, we're putting super fights on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to make every fight main event worthy. That's the goal. We're trying to put the very best fights on possible. And I cannot see a person going, nah, I'll pass. You're going to pass 15 million, motherfucker, and you never even made 5 million? Are you stupid or something? Okay. They see value in you. Now imagine that fighter's in the tell about, see, I just didn't get the opportunities that guy got. No, you lying bitch. You turned the money down, simple bitch. Stop it. You turned the fight down. So yeah, I for one like what the Saudis are doing. And I gotta say it again, like they said, that fight card was put together in under a month. What's this Asian lady's name that just fought? She fought last month, like the beginning of the month, and she ended up fighting 2 fights back to back. She had just fought the previous week and came in there. She beat Ebony Bridges. That same woman had just fought the week before. So don't come with that bullshit about no fucking, I need at least 3 months. No, you already in fight shape. This is what I mean about these protected fighters and the mindsets that somebody have to force and push you to want to fight 3-4 times a year. Stop saying it if you don't want to do it. Now you have the opportunity. There's no excuse. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.